Hello my planner pals and welcome back, and if you're new here then thank you for joining me and giving me a try. My name is Di, I am here at Creative Karma Design. Today I am sharing the flip through of my chonky travel journal that I took with me to London. This was a mini planner that I repurposed and just made it into a travel journal. I have a video about how I did that here, but yeah, I promised that I would do a flip through and I'm going to, so here we go. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so that I can put some photos on this side, just so that you can see the photos a little bit clearer. So the front cover, I just put that London Underground sticker on that I bought, I think that was back in 2019. And then at the beginning we've got pack your bags. And then I put in some info here with the little photos. This was the meals that we had on the plane. This was from the little sticker that came with the meals, because we have special meals because we're vegan. So yes, we have that there. And the meals were terrible because plain food. This was the day that we landed, which was the day after. That was Sunday. And I put a picture here of the little robot. It's like a cleaning robot, which was very strange to me, because we don't have them where we are. But yeah, it was a little cleaning robot, and if you got near to it, it basically gave like a little warning and was just like, please move out of the way. This is very much like, what the hell. This is a picture of the car, the first car, more about that later, the first car that we hired. So we got that there. This was the little pocket page that I put in, and I have journaling on the back of there, all about the trip down or up to Derby from London to see family. And then this was about the Airbnb. Oh, this I added on. This was actually from later, but I just liked the image. This was from the museum later on, but I just liked the image, so I just slapped it there. Why not? So these are photos from the flat that we were staying at, which was okay. I mean, it was clean. And it had a bed. It was the world's most uncomfortable bed, but it had a bed. That's all I will say about that. And again, I will put pictures on the screen as well. So yeah. And then we have day one, and this was again from this was like a yearly planner, but I've just covered it up and put like Monday and the days of the week on the little tabs. So the first day, again, this background is actually a leaflet that I picked up from the museum later on, a few days later. And again, this is too. And these are just pictures of me, my mum and dad, me, my mum and my aunt, and then me, my aunt and uncle. This was the food that we had, the first meal, which was a lovely mushroom and ale pie. And the funny thing was, I actually used to work at the pub that we went to. So that was interesting too. And then jet lagged. This is just a picture of me at my parents' house. This was from, I don't know, a map or something that I picked up during the travels. Something. Second day, so second real day that we were there. This again from the same background as this, same kind of leaflet that I picked up. This was just about the food. We had a fish and chip lunch, and then we had a meal deal that my sister-in-law bought us that was cheap. And that night we went to meet up with a friend called Sean, and we went to Ye Old Dolphin Inn, which was made or built in 1530. So it's a lovely old building, and that is just a picture of us there with some little blurb. And this I got out of one of the little brochures that was there. It just says the Derby Drinker. So yeah, I just cut it out and just put it in there because why not? So then Wednesday, again, this is where I started picking up some of the items that I made some of the pages with. So Wednesday, we went to the Museum of Making in the morning, which used to be the old industrial museum at the silk mill. And I got a postcard, as you can see here, and I just punched this after the fact. Got a little image here from the Museum of Making. So I've just put some other stuff as well on there. This was again another little brochure that I picked up that I've just cut out and put some photos on, museums. Again, this was from a little brochure. But yeah, I think that's a great way as well of doing your junk journaling. Pick up postcards and stuff like that. Pick up stuff that you find on your travels that kind of, and leaflets. Postcards and leaflets. Postcards and leaflets. After we went there, we were going to go to lunch with my mum and dad. On the way, Sean had told us about a craft lab, like a pop-up craft show, expedition, that's not the word I'm looking for, exhibition, there we go, where a bunch of crafters had got together and they had like 2 weeks in this building to show their wares. That's where this came from. I loved the little ceramic things that she had there, which I would have bought one and bought it back, but you know how clumsy I am. But I did get this. This was one of the postcards that one of them, this is La La Land. That was her tag, La La Land. But I love these. And she'd also decorated some windows in the city centre. So I got a postcard, and again, that's what it was, Best Friends Craft Lab. And then we went and had lunch, and then went to the museum. So I have this from the museum, and again, this was from the same thing. This was from the same thing. This was from the same thing, and I've just kind of dispersed it throughout. So yeah, we went to the museum, we went to have lunch with my parents. This was actually the business card of, again, one of the Craft Lab people. And this was, I got this as the freebie for buying the postcard. He had the cutest little robot sculpture things that were just adorable. But yeah, I just picked it up and put it in there because I wanted to remember it. And then this, I actually made this before we went. This was from something, I think it was in AAA magazine, and I knew that I would have a use for this because, let's face it, we're going to England and we needed something because of tea, right? And we went to see our friend Chris Boda, and then I've just journaled about that here. But yeah, no photo, but that just reminds me of that. This was again on the same brochure as these, the birds and these, like it's just dispersed. All right, so then we had Thursday. I made these before we left. I actually kind of tore one up to put in here as well. But these are just photos from seeing my parents, and then I had a trip down Nostalgia Lane as I went past Roller World, which is the skating rink that Bob and I used to go to quite a lot when we were dating. This is a view of the Derwent Bridge from one of the pubs that we went to quite a lot when we lived there. So that kind of speaks to me. Lots of journaling here. This was our last big day in Derby. So just journaled about, you know, the stuff, the emotions and stuff to go with that. That was it's almost like the Last Supper, that we have a family meal together. This was Bob and his friend Spencer. They kind of met up. He actually met him. He's from the Derbyshire area, but he actually met him in America at one of the Maker event things. So they met up. And then we have Saturday. Saturday was the day that we went down to London from Derby, and we have our week in London. Now, the day started off very interesting in the fact that the car would not start. Now, it was a new car. It was a Ford Focus STI, but it literally had like 1,100 miles on it when we got it. It was fairly new. And it basically just broke. So we had a 3-hour delay as the recovery man came and fixed it, but didn't end up fixing it. And we ended up having to take it back to Enterprise and then getting a different car to take us to London. What a morning that was. So that's all I'm going to say about that. What a freaking morning that was. That was just a headache that we didn't need. And then we got our ticket. So we went from Derby in the car to Enterprise at London Heathrow. We got the shuttle from the car hire place to the airport, and then we got a ticket to go from there to London. So yes, and then we got into our flat, which was in Camden, and it was literally just like one street off from the main road in Camden, which was great, but also very noisy. So yeah, it was a lovely place. The one thing that kind of I remember about this, and I've journaled about it in the thing, is that the bed was very small, like a very narrow bed, and the room was huge. So we couldn't understand why they'd chosen to put a narrow bed in there. And it was very bright. There was no escaping. It was just so bright. And then the first night we were there, we went to What the Pitta, which was literally just round the corner. And I've got a little flip up there of the start of our vegan food tour of London, which always happens. So we basically just try all the vegan food in London. And this was around the wrap. And I just took the best bits and just stuck it in. And then Sunday, our first full day in London, we didn't sleep well. And we had a walk round Regent's Park and then went for pizza, vegan pizza, at a vegan pizza place called Purizza. And one of the best meals of the trip was we had 2 pizzas and then these cheesy garlic potatoes. Absolutely wonderful food. And then remember this little flip out that I did with an old London tube map? This was from 2018 trip. And then now they have an app for this, so I no longer can get these. But we went to see Back to the Future. This was, spoiler, this was the first time that we saw it this trip. And we were in the dress circle, so we were away from the stage. It was really good. And then we went to Burger King, little scrap of the Burger King wrapper here. We went to Burger King because the Burger King and McDonald's in England do tons of vegan food. I'm not kidding. Like, America needs to get its crap together. So I've got the Burger King thing here, and that's basically what I'm saying. America needs to get its crap together and get some decent, like, easy to get vegan food, fast food. Monday, we went to Camden Market, and this was one of the scenes in Camden Market. They have like an overhead thing to stop the rain getting in, like windows, a clear roof, a window roof. What are we calling that? I don't know. But they put a bunch of umbrellas in, and I just thought it was very cool. So I got a selfie of me there with the same thing, but I love that. On the way back to the flat, we called at a Chinese vegan place called Vegan Planet. Absolutely delicious, highly recommend. If you're going to London and you're vegan, Camden is the place to go because it's just got tons of vegan food. And then that's journaling about that. At the night time, I got this. This was something I got free from Brewdog, and that is a pub/restaurant. And that was the food we had there. So I just picked that up, just journaled on there, and yeah. But again, things like this are what you need to be picking up. Tuesday, we went to Leadenhall Market. Now, Leadenhall Market, I don't know if you can see, again, I'll put the picture on here, is where they did Diagon Alley for the Harry Potter films. I will say, it's great to go and see, and it looks beautiful, but there's nothing there. It's in the financial district, and there's nothing else there. Like, the shops were like not open until like freaking lunchtime. It was just ridiculous. But the good thing about being in London when you're in places like this is that if you're willing to walk, nothing is that far away. Because literally, like, you go everywhere on the tube in the areas 1 and 2, but everything is just so close together. So from there, we walked to the monument, which we didn't go up because we've been up it before. And then we went to the Thames. We walked to the bit where you have London Bridge and Tower Bridge. And everybody thinks that this is London Bridge. This is not London Bridge. This is Tower Bridge. London Bridge is not as pretty as this. Nowhere near. So yeah, but we've been up this before. So we didn't do it this time, but we've actually walked on this bit. You have to pay to go in and walk on the skywalk here. But yeah, it's a great experience. Highly recommend it. But I picked this up near Tower Bridge somewhere, and I just thought, why not just pick it up and put it in my journal? So I did. And then we're near Tower Bridge, so obviously we're near the Tower of London. And we've got a bit of the Tower of London here, and then all the new buildings around it, and just the contrast of that. I don't think you find that anywhere else. Like, you certainly don't find it in America. Like, it's just the contrast of like these old buildings and then these new ones. You just can't find it anywhere. And then just a selfie of me at Tower Bridge. And then from there, we went to 222 Cuisine. I don't know if you can notice that. 222 Cuisine. And this, like, cardstock was from an old extension pack. I just repurposed it. And I just put in the meals and the dessert that we had and a little journaling there. Got a little out and about section here. From there, we went to the Science Museum, and we couldn't go. I've actually journaled about it here, but we couldn't go from here to where we wanted to go, which was the V&A, because the tube station was closed due to a casualty on the tracks. So I've just written about that and how important it is. Like, mental health, seriously, so important, so important. So I've got the Science Museum ticket, but to get there we had to go through Hyde Park because we had to kind of go around and walk. But yeah, just a reminder to take care of your mental health, I guess, right there. But from there, when we got to the V&A, I think we were just done because we'd been going since Leadenhall Market, Monument, London Bridge, Tower of London, to 222, to the Science Museum in Hyde Park, and then we went to the V&A, and I'm like, time out, I'm done. So we went back to the flat, chilled out for a little while, and then we went to Temple of Satan. How can you not love somewhere with that name? Temple of Satan. And in case you don't know, Satan is like a fake meat made out of wheat. And yeah, it really good junk food, but I just love the name. I just love the name. I gotta be honest, I love the name. So Wednesday was our Yankeeversary, which was 10 years of us being US citizens. So we had that, and we knew we were going to go to Back to the Future again. So we got tickets literally on the second row from the stage. So yes, very good. But for lunch, we went to Thenga Cafe, which was an Indian place. Very good food, vegan dosa. If you're in London and you want vegan dosa, highly recommend Thenga Cafe. It's a little bit kind of away from the beaten track, but definitely worth it. Then we went somewhere that Bob wanted to go, which was Novelty Automation. But I didn't pick up a brochure, Bob did. And I don't want to use his brochure without consent. So yeah, that's his brochure, but I just journaled about that here. Then we went from there to the BAFTA HQ in Piccadilly. We are BAFTA members, so we went to, it's just like a tradition now, we go to the BAFTA lounge and just have a drink at the BAFTA lounge. That's just one of the things that we do one afternoon in London. So as I said, we got tickets to Back to the Future. I've just got this from Google. Just got this from Google because I couldn't find anything that represented it. There was no flyers, no nothing. So I got this from Google, and then we've got a selfie in there, and then I've just highlighted Great Scott. It was really good. If you're on the fence of seeing this, it's really good. It's really good. And then we went to vegan McDonald's. Now I made this. It's from one of the covers of the planners. And yeah, I just made it from there. And they've got like these. I actually found another one, so I'm going to see if I can put that one on there too. I found another one. But yeah, and all I did, because these are two-sided, I've never used these before. These are the Monopoly things from McDonald's. But I just took some photos of our McPlant, and then the little scratcher peel-off things for the Monopoly game or whatever it is that they do. But yeah, America needs to get its crap together. That's all I'm saying about that. But I thought that was a cool way of using that. And then Thursday, I used these. These were from the AAA magazine. If you remember when I was making this page, we went to the London Dungeon, which is across the Thames of the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, so I got a photo of Big Ben from the other side of the river, which I don't have. So that's cool. We went to the London Dungeon. If you're going to London at any point, I do not recommend going to the London Dungeon. It was terrible. And I just journaled about that here. That's all I will say. There's too many people in a group. You can't see what's going on. And the people, the actors in there are great, but it's not worth the money. It is, no. It's a tourist trap. Do not do it. I don't think after that we did anything. And then I actually screwed up when I did this. So when I was doing this, I had this and I journaled on the wrong side. So I had to flip it. But so now Saturday is up here. But yeah, I just got confused with putting the paper on and all of that. So that should have been the other way around. It should have been there. But when I journaled this, I did it on the wrong side. So there we go. Just, it works still. I just put Friday there. And then we had What the Pitter again, which was the first place we went to. We didn't do anything. I think we were just exhausted by this point and ready to come home. So yeah. And then Saturday morning we had a walk around Regent's Park, which we were right next to. It was literally like 1 block away. We got another day pass. So for the whole of the week that we were there, we had a week pass. We had an Oyster card. But then we needed Zone 6 to get to Heathrow. So we went to Heathrow. We had a long wait for the flight. We got lunch at Wagamama's in Terminal 3. They have a Wagamama's in Terminal 3 and Terminal 5, which is excellent food. Absolutely loved it. Flight home was 11 hours long. 11 hours. And then that's when I got back and then find out that my mom had had her 7 seizures. She is fine. She is back home and resting and recovering. So yes, they've adjusted her medication. Seems to be okay. And then Bob got COVID. But that was because there was a lady on the flight next to him who was coughing her guts up. So that's my little travel journal for London. Again, it's just full of memories and photos and stuff. If my husband does not want his novelty automation flyer brochure thing, I might steal some of that and put some of that in here. But that's on him. It's his brochure. So yeah, I wish there was more stuff that I could have picked up, but it seems like there's less stuff now because everything is online and it's an app. You know, you order on an app. Everything is app-based, so there's no... it's ruining my junk journals. All right, I hope you enjoyed this and it just gave you some inspiration on keeping your memories and keeping little cards and tabs and tags and ripping up things to put in your journals and stuff like that. This is the stuff that I like to do and I don't really show that often. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you next time, my planner pals. Bye.